Good morning. We are here in Lethbridge getting unloaded. Had all of this. Wave to YouTube. Put up these cameras. Speaking to this awesome school over here. Unloaded all of this stuff over here. Stacks and stacks and stacks of scaffolding. Some more down over there. Got scaffolding all over the place. Talking to Dave, also a low German speaker. Så kling Bastian Plottig reden. Emma Goat van einer kon Plottig reden. Put you guys up. We'll get the paperwork signed. Deck is actually pretty nice and clean. All right, now that they kind of blocked in where I need to go, come on now, there we go. But looks like I'm pretty clear backing up over here. I wouldn't even have to back up far either. Yeah, this will work out just fine. Took 2 hours to unload. Oh, turn my NASCAR down. Took 2 hours to unload because it's a rental telehandler operated by someone that doesn't regularly run a telehandler, but he's pretty competent. Took 2 hours, did everything nice and safe. I've got no complaints. None at all. It's like a school, carpentry school, I think. Here in Lethbridge, Alberta. And before those of you that say, I thought you were in Vancouver, yeah, it's been 2 days, guys. It's been 2 days. I've put on a lot of miles since. It's not even that many miles, honestly. But yeah, CMAW Training Society in Lethbridge, Alberta. So let's get out of here. Can I make that right-hand turn? I think so. The trailer's taking out the fence. Yeah, we're looking good. It's a pretty tight yard to get into. Tight yard to get into, but at least I can pull right through. I could have backed back out too, but pulling through is so much easier. People go, what's the best way to back up? And the answer is, don't. The best way to back up a Super B is by not. Always try to set yourself up so you can pull through. Where's the Garmin taking me?
In 400 meters, turn left on 26th Avenue North. Turn left on 26th
There's a bunch of construction down that way, like a whole bunch of construction on Highway 3. I saw trucks driving this direction, so I think we're going to avoid the construction. I've never driven on this road before. blue sky. Look at the big sky country here. It's just awesome. There's a big Walmart over here. Apparently we're in the shopping center of Lethbridge. Yeah, it was so cool running into some other Plotich speakers. So for those of you, my native tongue is not German, the way you guys always think about German. You guys all, us Mennonites call German High German because we speak what is called Low German. Direct translation of Plotich would be flat German. Basically, it was a Germanic language spoken in the low-lying lands of Germany. So in the flat sections, out of the hills, and then High German was spoken up in the higher elevation. Oh, and it's an insane plus 16 degrees Celsius outside in February. Where's the minus 40? Unbelievable. My jacket was too hot. I had the thinnest jacket on I had. It was too hot. I need to get out my safety vests so I can wear just a safety vest instead of a jacket. It's insane. Oh yeah, back to, so Plotich, Low German, is very, very similar. If you guys have heard the Amish YouTube videos speaking in Pennsylvania Dutch, Plotich is very similar to the Pennsylvania Dutch. And here in Lethbridge, lots of Mennonites settled here, so it shouldn't be a surprise that a German speaker, Low German speaker, comes up to me and talks to me in German. It's such a rare occurrence for me. That's kind of special when it happens. So thanks, appreciate it. We're going down to 2 lanes. Maybe this is a bad choice. I looked on the map, it looked like it was a decent highway this way, so. And I saw the trucks going this way, and I seen no signs that say no trucks, so. And I've never done it before, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I was going to shoot a video today morning with the sunrise, but with the time difference, I couldn't start driving until 8:15 local time, and the sun was way too bright in the sky, driving directly into the sun. I'm like, that's just not going to work.
In 600 meters, turn left on Scenic Drive North.
I'm going to call my boss. Yeah, that looks good. I'm just looking at the time, 3:01. Plus I need to take washroom break and fuel up and food. I don't see me making it for the reload until tomorrow morning.
In 2.5 kilometers, take the ramp.
And Parsival, this is the weekend that you're in Vancouver, the lower, not Vancouver, Lower Mainland. Apparently, I'm in Alberta while you're in BC. But that's the way this works. Let's call the boss. It's a scenic byway over here, or scenic drive road. Hello? Ah. Went to voicemail. Hello? Hello? Ah, Bluetooth. It's being Bluetooth. Hello. Still not. Still can't hear you. Come on. So somehow my GPS, I heard the boss speaking in the background. This is beautiful, isn't it? This is beautiful.
800 meters, take the ramp on the right toward Highway 3 West.
It's putting my Bluetooth through the GPS. There we go. For some reason, my Bluetooth was putting you through the GPS and you were playing on the GPS. I am rolling now, but my ETA is 3 o'clock. Plus, I need to fuel up and washrooms and food and all that. It's not going to be till after 3 or very close to around 3. I don't know if they're still going to be loading there. If they load till 3:30, I'm okay. No. Oh.
Continue on the current road.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah. Okay. We'll go for it and then see what happens. But yeah. All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Bye. All right. So if we don't load today, we'll load tomorrow morning. It's not sure if they load till 3 or 3:30. Beautiful, beautiful valley. I was talking about construction. You see the lineup? There was construction the other way too. There's cars coming. I'll just slow down. We'll follow. We'll follow until we have a good, better passing opportunity here. I know I'm in a rush, but. Hate going into the left lane when there's a whole bunch of traffic coming up behind you, right? It's like I'm kind of impeding their day. So we'll wait a minute, follow someone a bit, wait till the road's clear behind you, and then climb on out. Holy smokes, some strong gusts. You're blown off the road. little bump where we get a good viewpoint of wide open nothingness. I wonder if we can see the Rocky Mountains. Oh, I can totally see the Rocky Mountains. All the way wrapped around to the left-hand side. We kind of come at an angle across. Outside of my driver's side window, you just see them in the way background. Just the hint of mountains way back there, and they're all snow covered. Truck is whistling, making whistling sounds in the crazy wind. I guess the plan now is to try to load today. If I can't load today, load tomorrow morning, and then bring the load as far to the Okanagan as we can. Depending if I load today, we'll deliver in the Okanagan tomorrow and then go home. If not, I'll have to drop the trailer somewhere and then bobtail home. Do I have the hours for that? I'll have to do the math on that, because I've got 21 hours left this week. I'll have to do the math on that to see how that's going to work out. So at the end of today, I will have 11 hours tomorrow, so I can't even drive a full shift tomorrow. Train's parked on the right-hand side. Lots of farmland. Alberta is absolutely beautiful. Everybody always poo-poos Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta for how boring they are, and that's true. That is true if you just go through them on Trans-Canada Highway 1. But if you get off, like there's a huge gorge, like a big, must be a river at the bottom, just to my passenger side there. So if you go off the main road, there's absolutely beautiful, beautiful scenery. The main roads are built on the flattest, easiest place to build them, right? So I think because we drive through Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba just on Trans-Canada Highway 1, these provinces don't get the credit they deserve. There's a fuel truck fueling up a train. What, do trains run out of fuel? Or is that a planned fuel stop over there? I know very little about Alberta. I know my grandparents were born in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, but I know a lot of Mennonites settled here too, in Lethbridge and Medicine Hat. Also up north, Peace River. The Canadian government used us Mennonites to displace as many natives as they could, selling Mennonites huge plots of land for pretty much free, so that we could grow farms over here. Part of the reasoning was the quote unquote Indian problem. Well, I was talking about the Mennonite guy that I ran into unloading here. Also ran into a Native American that grew up on the reservation, and we talked a little about residential school and the res. I would love both of those guys. I would love to sit down and have a meal with them and pick their brains. It'd be awesome to have a conversation with them. He said that his family was one of the first families to bring back traditional Native American, to bring back Native American traditions. You know, the singing and dancing and the dress and the speaking of the language. His family was one of the first that was allowed to start teaching their traditions again, instead of being forced to become white. There's actually an awesome book out there. It's an American author. The book is literally called The Indian Problem. Listen to the podcast. It's really, really eye-opening on how we are treating Native Americans today, right now, and the history. It's a bunch of history, but plus what we're doing today. A lot of us, even in my comments, I've had comments saying that they need to get over it. That was generations ago. Residential school didn't end until the 90s, early 90s. Residential school was still happening. The laws on the book are still very anti-Native American. Telling a Native American to get over it is like me punching you in the face a month ago and telling you, you know what, I'm sorry, I screwed up a month ago, I punched you in the face, I'm sorry, can you just get over it? And then still punching you in the face today. It's hard to get over it when I'm still punching you in the face today, right? People that apologize for things that they've done and then continue doing those things. So, any comments in my chat down there? I know it's not a popular opinion. I'll probably lose a couple subscribers thanks to this conversation, but it's a problem we have today. The laws are still screwed. The way Indian status works, in the future, we're going to have a whole bunch of Indian reservations with no status Indians allowed to live on the reservation. And that doesn't seem cool. But yeah, I would love to sit down. It was awesome meeting those two dudes and talking to them. Mennonite and an Indian working together. Super cool. But at the end of the day, when it comes to it, me as a Mennonite, as a Christian, we are taught really 2 commandments that Jesus gave us. And commandment number 1 is love your God with all your heart and soul. Commandment 2 is love your neighbor as yourself. We can have different opinions. In fact, I encourage different opinions. I would love if my chat had opposing opinions to me without name calling and derogatory terms. So often when you guys disagree with me in the chat, the name calling and derogatory and the swearing and the discrimination also is in that comment. I love when I get a critical comment, a critique of mine or a critique of what I say or a critique of what I believe without any of that garbage. It's like, you have the right to not believe what I believe in. And I have the right to not believe what you believe in. And we can still be really good friends. Why do we have to hate each other just because we disagree in opinion? Why do you have to go unsubscribe just because I said something that you didn't like? We like to keep this channel drama-free. I know, kind of opposite what I just said, but drama-free, friendly, happy, family-friendly, right? But you can still have real conversations from time to time. And I don't preach at you guys often. I'm kind of preaching at you guys today what my beliefs are, but I try not to make this channel preachy. But I'll tell you guys what my beliefs are, and I am super cool if you are the opposite of what I am. Had a good friend of mine when I first met him. We chatted and kind of found out who we were. I'm a good Mennonite Christian boy, and he's a gay dude, an atheist gay dude. We're great friends. We need more relationships like that. We can have drastically different opinions and get along with each other. Is that the Ogopogo? Why is the Ogopogo here? Guys, you guys living in Alberta here, why is the Ogopogo here on a fence line? Is that the Ogopogo? It's so windy that my mirror is getting knocked over. My mirror just moved in. It is so windy, my mirror is moving. I'm gonna next pull out have to. I'm sure of you guys on the shoulder, on the near cam, on the passenger side, your view is you can't even see the truck hood anymore. I bet. It's so windy, the mirror is moving in. Crazy. Driver's side's still fine. I'll have to push that mirror back out and see if I can tighten those bolts a bit. That's crazy. It's very, very. In Lethbridge itself, it wasn't too bad at all, but over here, I'm driving directly into this really strong wind. I guess my passenger mirror is just going to be useless to me. That's nuts. Yeah, when I see a pullout, I'll pull over and I'll move it back out. Hopefully it stays out. I've tried tightening those bolts before, and I feel like I'm gonna snap those bolts. like over torque those bolts, and that would be a bad day. Need to get some stronger bolts and then really tighten that mirror down. Start seeing the mountains more and more and more. Hopefully when I get to the mountains and load, it's not going to be windy there because the load I'm picking up is a tarp load. And no, that's just an exit there, not a viewpoint. I think we just passed like a little pull out, so it's probably going to be a while till we get to a pull out. Oh well, it's okay. Man, I'm hungry, guys. I'm hungry. No speed limiters on trucks here in Alberta, so Alberta trucks are faster. The speed limit here is 110. I can only do 105. A wide front axle steer tire plus a Tridem truck and a Tridem axle trailer. You can put a lot of weight in that trailer. See him getting blown off the road. I'm an empty trailer and I'm an empty flat deck and I'm complaining how much the wind's moving me around. If he's an empty trailer with a big sailboat of a trailer like that, he's getting pushed around a lot more than I am. Mountains in the background are just so beautiful. I know you guys can't really see them with a wide angle lens. Just right on the horizon. Very rocky line. See a lot of wind turbines on that horizon line as well, a lot closer. Imagine flying an airplane and wind this strong. I bet you landing at Calgary and Edmonton in windy days like this, it's got to be a challenge. One of these days when I'm over here, we're going to get a Chinook. I'm looking at the clouds and I'm just not seeing one of those classic Chinook looking clouds. I tried explaining a Chinook to Jess before, but until you see one, it's hard to explain. going to Fort Macleod. Very, very historic city as well. You really need both hands on the steering wheel just to keep the wind, to fight the wind. Take a hand off to move the mirror, and then the wind is immediately fighting you. Yay, power steering. I think this would be harder without power steering. Although at full speed limit, probably not. Probably not make a difference. Fort Macleod in 2 kilometers. Historic Main Street, Empress Theater. Yeah, lots of history in this town. I'm betting the history goes all the way back to the first settlers coming in through here and building the railroad. Macleod, right? I said Macleod, right? Macleod. Fort Macleod. I think that's right. Oh, this lane ends. Why is he going so slow? I get it, says slow down, but you don't have to slow down that fast, that early. Should I pull over to one of the side streets here? Just move the mirror? I don't know if it's going to be any good though, but how many miles till it's folded in again? Until I really tighten those bolts down. If I tighten the bolts down now, the cameras will, all the batteries will die before I have that properly bolted down. Well, there's another street in between the highway. Is that the historic Main Street? Is in the center? I was just assuming the street over was the other direction of highway, but no. I think there's a center street there. Yeah, I bet you most of the tourist attraction stuff are on that center street. That makes sense. Redcoat Inn, see? Lots of colonial type of names and stuff. Yeah, let's just adjust the mirror here quickly. Experience the fort. So there's an actual fort here. Northwest Mounted Police and First Nations Interpretive Center and Gift Shop. We got to come down here with the RV and check that out. I pushed it a bit too far. That's super cool, the old fort. I wonder how old that fort is and how much of that is original or just completely rebuilt. Is it replica or original? Being built out of wood, I can't see it being original. But even if it's a replica, the replica itself would be really old too, looking at the age of the lumber. That was Fort Macleod. Midnight Stadium. Looks like an indoor rodeo stadium, maybe? Structural truss. Forma Steel. It's a pretty big factory. This is Highway 2 that goes up north to Calgary. I've run that one quite a bit. I try to run, what is it, Highway 22 instead of 2 as often as I can. Not going up to Calgary, but every now and then it makes more sense to take 2. If you have a really, really heavy load, it makes more sense to run 2. Because 22 has quite a bit of hills. None of them are like big, no passes or anything like that, but quite a few hills. And even then, if you're really, really heavy load, it's more that you just get in the way on 22. Now my mirror's not moving at all. I guess I can't really complain, but I've moved it too far. Oh well. Once I get out of the wind, I'll adjust it to where I want it to sit. irrigation. It's been really, really dry the last recent years, so I've been seeing more and more irrigation being put up. We're running right along a train track. Where's the trains, guys? When I was unloading, I definitely heard trains going by. Dust. I guess maybe you guys can't see, but you see these dust trails on the side, and that's people driving down gravel roads. Every mile there's a gravel road or a dirt road, and you see these little dust trails with the wind wherever there's a car driving along one of those gravel roads. It's kind of neat. There, the cover is kind of blowing off. That went by, I waved, and all I got was a really just a glare, a stink eye. Definitely no wave from that driver. Woo! Seen the guy in front of me do a little waka waka, and all of a sudden I'm fighting the wind. Fairly constant, at least it's not super gusty, so you're fighting the same direction, but every now and then you get that little gust that gets you. So the thing is, as you get into the Rockies, if you're traveling on Highway 3, the closer you get, the less of those Rockies you can see. Because you're in such narrow little valleys, all you can see is the closest mountain to you, which is nothing compared to the mountains in the background. big rig going down the gravel road down that way toward the right. See the dust trail. At one of these hills have a nice viewpoint of the Rockies. Now if you're taking Trans-Canada Highway 1, the valleys are a little bit wider, and that means you get to see more of the majestic, beautiful mountains. I mean, on Highway 3 you get some of that too, there's not as much of it. Like going through Fernie, that's quite beautiful. But the wider the valleys are, the more of these cathedral-style mountains you get to see. With the narrow valleys on Highway 3, you don't get to see any of the snow-top mountains. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. What a crazy view that is. Ah, it's glorious. If you want to see lots of rocky viewpoints, I'd say take Highway 3 till 22 or one of the other small side highways and work your way up along the Rockies. This guy in front of me is a bit of a yo-yo driver. We're bouncing between 105 and 90 kilometers an hour. I kind of like using my cruise control, but when somebody bounces back and forth so much, it's impossible. Good viewpoint. Not a lick of snow around. Plus 19 degrees Celsius outside, guys. 19 degrees Celsius. What is going on? Where's all this heat coming from? This is February, right? And we're in Canada? Saying it's like winter's gonna hit eventually, but dude, we got what, a month left of possible minus 40s? There's not much time left. November didn't feel like winter, December didn't feel like winter, January didn't feel like winter, and now we're halfway through February and it doesn't feel like winter. batteries are going to start dying. So we'll keep going another 15 minutes or so. But some of the camera views might be dropping off. Keep going until I know we're down to 2 cameras. I was doing 105 in that whole zone trying to pass him. Foot all the way down. So the mountains to the south of us, to my left, in the U.S. that would be Glacier National Park. In Canada, it's Waterton National Park. Highly recommend it. Both the Canadian and the U.S. side. Highly recommend it. I've visited both and beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Slow all the way down to 80, I would go by him, but with a Super B 80 feet long, if he goes down to 90, I still don't have enough room to get by him. Is that Pincher Creek already? That might be Pincher Creek. No, that can't be Pincher Creek yet. No. Nope, not yet. I think this is a native reservation here. I don't know if you guys can make the wind turbines out. They're all around us. Huge farms of them. Pickup caught up with us. I'm going to hang back from this guy a little bit. That way if the pickup decides to pass me, he's got room to merge in between the two of us. Is he not going to slow down for the 70? Last time we had to slow down, I complained that the guy slowed down too fast. And this time, the dude just keeps going. Oh, there's some brake lights. Well, at least he won't be holding me up for a little bit. I hate drivers like that. Fast through town, slow on the highway. Most dangerous way to drive. In a town, you should be going slow. Watch out for pedestrians. I think that might be Old Man River beside us. Beautiful, beautiful viewpoints down there into. Oh, got 2 lanes here. Just through town? I guess so. I think that's Old Man River down there. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, beautiful. Coming out from underneath the valley, the wind just comes gusting up. There's our 100. Municipality of Pincher Creek. I wonder if this might not be Old Man River. This might be actually Pincher Creek, the creek itself that flows into Old Man River. See if there's a sign as we cross it. I love the old Case tractor sitting out in the field. I like when we get the old iron still out there. Yeah, Pincher Creek. So this is Pincher Creek, okay. A creek named after a horseshoe pincher. You know, the actual tool, the pincher tool. For horseshoeing. Some dude lost his pincher along that creek. So they named the creek after. That's the creek where I lost my pincher. Probably always looking for it when they drove by, no, when they horseback by. It's a summer view. Fair enough. This is a summer view, that's for sure. Right in front of us is just a line of wind turbines going. Lots of electricity being made here and sold to the U.S. Flashing red now. See if we get one more viewpoint of those mountains before the cameras all die. through here. I wouldn't, if you have the time, it wouldn't hurt to do a little detour. Make sure you go to Waterton, make sure you go here. Also make sure you do that buffalo jump. What is it called? Head smashed in or something like that? I can't remember if that's the name here or not. Now we're going to drive underneath the train track. And then up ahead in that valley is where the town of Pincher Creek is. Awesome little town. Very, very wealthy little town. Thanks to all these wind turbines. At least a few landowners are very wealthy in this town. We get a little closer to these wind turbines. And those blades are well over 100 feet long. I think we looked it up once, 130-ish feet long. The town of Pincher Creek, you can't really see it from the highway. You got to go drive off the highway into the valley. It's the whole town is in the bottom of the valley, right along the creek. It is gusty over here. You can get to Pincher Creek by exiting here and going down in town, or take the next exit. So you got two options to get into town. As you can see, as we're getting closer and closer to the mountains, the tall ones are slowly shrinking away, disappearing behind the closer up ones, the foothills nearby. And you're still seeing a lot of snow-covered ones. The most beautiful views of the mountains are far away with a crazy zoom lens. This is the other exit down at Pincher Creek. Used to be a Husky truck stop here. Really good food. Right at this intersection. When I worked here in Pincher Creek for 2 months. Over the winter, right about this time of year, lots of snow, lots of wind, lots of ice. We went to this Husky for food all the time. Just a big empty lot now. come here so rarely, I need to do a longer video, right? But you can see how the big white mountains have just completely disappeared. They're all tucking down behind the near mountains that barely have any snow on them. A slow truck up ahead. Once again, we'll hang back a little bit so if someone behind us decides to pass us, they've got the room to do so. Truck must have just pulled on the road and just taking him a while to get up to speed because we're up to 100 now. It might not be fuel. It's hard to tell. It's a yellow hazard sign, not a red one. So what's yellow? Is that explosive? This is Old Man River. There we go. This is Old Man River. Wind gust. Like we haven't been driving in wind gust till now. Well, when we worked here in Pincher Creek, I drove on top of the Old Man River Reservoir. I drove our SUV right on top of the reservoir. Well, with the temperatures we're having here, that would not happen. All right, there's no way he's loaded. If he pulled up the hill that fast, it's got to be empty. I can get them. It's an oxidizer. 2426 5.1 oxidizer. If you look up the code 2426, you can see exactly what that is. Look under hazmat and then that code, and it'll tell you exactly what is in that trailer. Welcome to the town of Cowley. glider strip. Oh, with the wind gusts over here, I bet you gliding, you can get a lot of altitude gliding into the wind. There's some crazy uplifts here. I've got a bunch of Canadian geese. In February, there's Canadian geese flying around in Alberta. It's just not right. Oh, there's the whole little pond there. There's thousands of Canadian geese there. Where I slept last night, this little pullout, just big enough for maybe a truck or two. That was home sweet home last night, right there. Well, the batteries are, it's flashing at 6% now, and they usually die at 5%, so I think this is all we're going to get. This will be our last view of the mountains. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I kind of enjoy a run like this into Alberta. I wish I got to do an Alberta run a little more often. And there's a lot less money in it when you're running empty all the way back to BC to get loaded. I've got another hour and 15 minutes or so. No. Yeah, hour and a half. Hour and a half to my customer. I'm debating skipping eating lunch just so I can get there. I know I shouldn't, but I'm debating about it. Grab a granola bar and skip lunch. It would mean I'd get home for the weekend better if I did. I hate doing that though. It's not healthy. We'll see. We'll see how this works out. But for now, I'm gonna go through the Crow's Nest Pass. This highway is named after the Crow's Nest Pass. Right through Frank Slide, Crow's Nest Pass, all of that. But you see how I mean snow-covered mountains have just all disappeared, and now we just get the close mountains here that hardly have any snow on them. Still beautiful, absolutely beautiful drive through here. This is, if you're coming through here, I recommend stopping here too. Lundbreck? Let's go with Lundbreck. Lundbreck Waterfalls. There's a beautiful waterfalls here. Lundbreck Waterfalls. Absolutely beautiful waterfalls. So I highly recommend stopping and visiting that too. So we went from Lethbridge through Fort Macleod, Pincher Creek, Lundbreck. Oh yeah, what was the other one? Cowley or something like that. Went through a couple of towns. For now, I am out of here. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Really appreciate those coffee supporters. Makes a big difference. Thanks to you guys, we got all these cameras and we can do videos like this. And then of course those of you that have joined YouTube memberships through YouTube itself, appreciate that as well. You guys make this possible. And the super chats. Rarely get a super chat, but thank you for those super chats as well. You guys all show up in the credits at the end of the video. Just remember, it'll take you at least 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks for your name to show up. Crow's Nest River. So the waterfalls is on the Crow's Nest River? Cool. Highway 22 is coming up here on our right hand side. That's usually the highway I take instead of Highway 2. But for now, I am out of here. You guys absolutely rock.